Okay, let's go live. It's James speaking. Hopefully got a live feed here. I'll just wait and see if we get anyone to join me today. If you haven't been to one of these are live Ask Me Anything live streams. I do them every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it's just a time for you to come in and ask some questions and see if there's anything you need to know or want to learn about when it comes to starting, building, and growing an education business. So I didn't actually check beforehand. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we do have the chat is available. If you want to ask questions, please make sure to put them in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. And again, these are open sessions, so anything to do with AI stuff, creating courses, creating communities, privately branded communities or campuses, places where you can teach stuff. That's what I love talking about. And again, please ask some questions. I don't want to rant or have to rant. Although I could rant, I can rant quite a bit about this stuff because it's a lot of fun and things are changing all of the time. Actually, I just did a video 15 minutes ago. I'll post it after this one. And it's actually here. Let me just show you what happens in the background here. So what's happened here is I just did a video. I'm in YouTube on the YouTube channel, and what I do is I reuse the previous video. I just reuse the previous video that is similar, and maybe what I'll do is I'll put it in and we'll just use that one, reuse all of it. So now I can reuse all of the content, and I just got to come up with a title and thumbnail, which is something I use a custom GPT for, put in what it's about, and it gives me a whole bunch of scored titles and thumbnail text to use. So I basically just did one actually in the background, uploaded it, and that one will be coming out shortly. The cool thing about that one, it was all about the Google's Veo 2 and Veo 3, which they just announced yesterday at the developers conference, and some really cool stuff is happening there that if you aren't paying attention to Google when it comes to AI stuff, please do, because they're in really, really good shape, even if you don't want the evil Google to be in good shape. So come on, put some questions in. Let me know what's going on. I'm here to help out. And we got 8 people on, and no one will say hello. Just give me a thumbs up. Say hello if you're here. Let me know who's at the live stream. And again, just ask questions. Are you just starting out? Is it something you're trying to do with AI, learning to prompt? Do you have a campus set up? Do you have a place to build your community out? Are you struggling with something? Just let me know. And again, I'll do my best to answer as quickly as I can. These sessions are all part of trainingsites.io. And let me just see if anything's going on here on trainingsites.io. Yeah, so I'll open this up. Basically, this is my personally branded campus. Is a space where you can go in, and all of the courses here are free, all of the videos, all of the prompt stuff that I use, all sorts of great resources that are helpful if you're interested in actually teaching something online. So those ones are here. And if no one comes on, which kills me sometimes because lots of people tune in, but they don't ask because, oh, there we go. Someone's got a question. Awesome. Greg. Hey, thanks, Greg. Thanks for coming on. I think this is the first time you've been on, right? Matthew David, nice to meet you. Have built looks fantastic. Okay, so let me just see what else we got here for some of the other sessions. Um, Rob Howell. I don't think you can hear me. There we go. I'm not going to ban you, Rob, but what do you want to do? So we got to build type of community. Yeah, we can certainly do that. Hey, Greg, Portland, Oregon, thanks for coming on. What else we got here? Yeah, so which one do you want to do first? Do you want to do the community part first? Is that one that you want to do? We could look at that one, and I'll talk about the kind of options that I've been talking with other people about moving forward. We can do that. Give me a thumbs up if you want to do that. The other thing is, if you do want to see a little bit on Google, actually wait for the video because it is kind of cool. I'll show you one thing. Hopefully, it'll show up for you, but I'll put a link for it. Because they dropped a bomb yesterday with AI video, and if you hadn't had a chance, please go and see this at some point because it is kind of cool. Hello everyone. So okay, so here's what I'm going to do. The first one is I'll go show this one to you, and again, this is in the video that I'm just doing, but hopefully you'll be able to see it. If you go to up at the top here, it says deepmind.google on this one, deepmind.google/models/VO. So they just announced this yesterday. And again, I have a whole video on this, but don't go now. Don't go now. Watch the video after. But I just want to kind of show you why this is important. One of the things that they did, and I did a couple other videos about something called VO2, which was their text to video creator. And this one is VO3. And the part that's cool on this, I'm not sure if I'll get a reverb on it, but this one is VO3, but it includes dialogue. So that means you can use a text prompt and you can create a video that is just like this. Watch.
Tamed might, and she commands your awe with every breaking light. This ocean is
Yeah, so that was from a text prompt. So we've got a video, the background sound, the dialogue, all from a text prompt. So they announced that yesterday. This is actually available. It is a little bit pricey right now, but it is available. Just start thinking, if you're looking to create video content, you as creative as you want to be, that's what you need to do to start creating videos. It's as simple as that. And the text prompt they used was right here. Medium shot frames and an old sailor, knitted blue sailor hat, casting shadows over his eyes. And it actually had the actual text is in there for the dialogue, and it was added. So the voice, everything, the background sound, everything was done from a particular prompt, which is kind of cool. And that's what we're going to see happening in the future. Now, I did the video of VO2, I think in January, beginning of January. Now it's May, so we got 3 months, 3.5 months, and we've actually got the dialogue added. So think later on this year, what's going to be happening. This stuff is really, really cool. If you're creating course content, special place to actually start playing around with that. So that's the one that this afternoon's video is. I'll post that one after. I think the question that we had, I can go over if you want to. Give me a thumbs up on that, is if you want to learn about the campuses and kind of the choices on those ones. We can cover that today as well. And again, I can talk about campuses and building them out forever and ever. If there are other questions or specific questions, just please put them in so that I can see. So I will show you my campus, and then I'll show you another place to build a campus. And this is not as simple as maybe you wanted it to be, but here's kind of the gist here. The way that I look at campuses as opposed to a community site is a community site only has limited access to structured training. If you have a campus, it has a community plus some structured training. There's a couple different platforms. Use More Campus Ministry Teachings to build it like yours. Okay, thank you, Matthew. So here's kind of the deal. If there's two questions. One is, how much teaching do you want in it, in your community? And the second one is, how technical are you? And what I mean by that is you can either self-host it on WordPress, or you can use a third-party software as a service. And there's two that I really recommend now in terms of platforms. My personal choice is to use WordPress, which is what my site is. It's a WordPress site, and I'll go through some of the plugins that we have on this one. The other one that is and looks identical to this, pretty close, is one called Circle. And Circle is a really great community software as a service. So you don't have to worry about having a WordPress site. However, the difference is if you use software as a service that is community focused, they generally don't have the marketing part that you need, which is what the WordPress site has and what Fluent Community has on this site. So it's kind of like, do I want to have it all in one place that I'm in control, or do I want to have part of it here from one platform and use another platform or something else to connect to it to kind of round everything out? So yeah, so that's kind of the big choice that you have to make. And if you're just starting out and you're non-technical and you don't really want to focus on email marketing automations and CRMs and posting to social media, you just kind of want to get your feet wet, and you're okay not focusing, or you already have marketing tools, You don't want to be overly technical, I would look at circle.so. On the other hand, what I do and what I recommend more than doing that is using WordPress, and my preference is using the whole suite of Fluent community tools. And I'll go over those so that you see how those actually work. One of the other questions that I'll show you quickly just as I bring that up, the software that I use to do these live streams, and again, these are live streams that are done. I don't have any staff or anything with me. It's just me here with two monitors, Insta360 video camera, and let me see if I can hold this up, a Stream Deck to switch between the different scenes, that kind of stuff. So that's all I have here. And the software that I use, because I'm on a Mac, is one called Ecamm. Ecamm.com. It's Mac only. So that one's for doing live, and it also records. So even though I'm doing it live now, I do a video a day. I just record it using the same thing. If you're on a Windows machine and you want a software as a service, the one I recommend is StreamYard. Again, and I put my affiliate links, so I'll put them below. StreamYard is the one that you want to do if you're just using something software as a service. If you want it installed on your own machine, there's one called OBS, which I think is a little bit technical, but for the most part, StreamYard and Ecamm are kind of the two that you want to use. So that's for recording. So here's kind of the gist on these ones. I'll do Fluent Community so that you can see it, and I'll actually show it in the back. So actually, let me do this. WP Ninja, and I'll put all the links here. They're all in the campus. WP Manage. Go to this one. So I have WP Manage. Ninja is the developer for all of this stuff. And they have a whole suite of tools that I really, really like. And they're well developed, they're mature, and there's a really, really good group of people. So this is on a WordPress site. And what I use is Fluent Community. And what Fluent Community does is just the community, and it has a basic LMS or a basic course piece included. So it doesn't do quizzes and certifications. It does just the basics, which in my opinion is probably a good fit now for 90% or 99% of the people. The only difference I wouldn't use this is if I have to do or offer certification and detailed quizzes and assignments right now. So Fluent Community is the one that I actually use for the community. I have another one called Fluent Booking, and these are all tightly integrated, and they're all on the site, and I'll show you how they work in the live site in a second. So I use Fluent Booking to actually book appointments, and this one is like Calendly, but it's on my site. So I don't pay for Calendly, I just use Fluent Booking, and it's everything that Calendly does, it does exactly on the WordPress site. I also have Fluent Support, which is our help desk ticketing system that's there. I also have, and here's the important one, Fluent CRM Pro. So what this is a full-fledged CRM that allows you to do all of the marketing automations, newsletters, automations, plus keep track of all of the contact details that get involved when someone books an appointment, when someone gets an email, when someone opens a support ticket. Any of that stuff is all in one place, and it's all on my site. So I've got training content for older adults. Yeah. Moodle LMS platform. Yeah, okay, so I'll get to those in a second. So the reason I use this is because it's all in one place. So you got the CRM, the community, and the booking, and the support, and they also have one that's down below here, which is, they actually don't even have it here, which is Fluent Boards, which is a project management tool. So I have a complete business in a box here, and it is based on the community. I don't generally use any of the traditional, this is running on WordPress, but I don't use all of the stuff that normally runs on WordPress, that, using Elementor and creating fancy themes and stuff. I'm just focused on, hey, how can we get people into the community? How can we make courses available for them? How can we have spaces and groups? and how can we do things in having members as an example. Um, and I'm just looking here, people are 25 minutes, seconds ago, minute ago, people working as a member. And I have all of the groups on the left-hand side, and I've created all of the different groups. Now, in this case, one of the questions was asking about Moodle. Yeah, so um, for an LMS, there are a couple, and if you're new to the course space, an LMS, it's either learning management system, or I've heard some people call it learning management software. What basically any of these LMSs are, it's a way to organize courses in linear fashions where they have to be taken in a certain order, and or they can be taken out of sequence. But it's a way to say, look, these are all of the lessons you have to take, and when you complete the course, or you answer quizzes for each of the lessons or hand in assignments for each of the lessons, you can basically say you've completed a course, and you have an option of providing a certificate of completion. And Moodle was a piece of software. It's kind of like the granddaddy of learning management software. And that was one that you installed on your own machine, and it basically ran things. And it runs on itself. At least it did, a long time when I took a look at it. So Moodle is an LMS software, and it is a very, very thorough, excuse me, very detailed course online e-learning course delivery system. On excuse me, got a tickle in my throat. Have a little sip of coffee here. One of the things is that WordPress has some that are similar to Moodle. May not be as complex, but there's 3 for WordPress that are important to know about. And I have links of them actually in the campus, but the one for WordPress that is very popular is called LearnDash, which is similar to Moodle, and that is a plugin that is only for creating courses or groups or bundles of courses. So that one's available. There's another one called Lifter LMS, which is another WordPress plugin, which is, again, very similar to LearnDash, does a great job. And then there's another one called Tutor LMS that I quite like, that looks really good and does similar things. So any of those WordPress plugins that are LMS plugins, they allow you to add unlimited courses, and they have quizzes, and I think they all have certifications. And the thing with the courses, the part that gets a little more detailed is, in many courses, there's generally some basic courses have like a section and individual lessons in a section. Some of the other platforms that are a little more complex may have segments, and each segment may have lessons, and each lesson may have topics. So most of them get like 3 levels deep: segment, topic, lesson, and then some of them allow quizzes on each lesson or each topic or each segment, or a final quiz at the end. So you can get pretty detailed on that, and it really depends on what it is that you're teaching and the level of content or level of engagement and proof that you're actually knowing what's going on. That kind of determines it. So even if we have Fluent Community, which is the one that I showed, and it has a basic one, for example, if I look at the campus map course here, this one just has some segments and it has some individual lessons. So I can't break it into topics. And right now in this version that I'm showing you, there's no quizzes. However, the quizzes will be available, I think, at the end of this month or the beginning of next month. But you get into LearnDash, it may have segments, and then each lesson may have 5 different topics underneath, and each of them can have text and a video, so it can get quite complex. The one part I will kind of say, just while we're going through this, is when you're looking at all of these things with LMSs, and I'll tell you, this is my personal one. Again, I'm not doing certifications, and I'm not really focused on quizzes right now. But if you are and you're teaching something, my suggestion to you is to think long and hard about, do I really need to have a super complex course anymore, and a lot of requirements of what people need to know just in case. And what I'm talking about is, if you go to Perplexity and you take a look at, and give me a thumbs up if you like Perplexity or if you've heard of Perplexity, just so that you know about Perplexity. I'll open it up here just so that you can see it. But Perplexity is a meta search engine. It's a replacement for Google search. And basically what it does is it goes out to all of the sources when you search for something, and then it comes back with a result. So here's why there is a problem, in my opinion, with traditional LMS plugins. So if I just go and I just say, what is the average completion rate for most online learning courses? So if I just go ask Perplexity and just say, actually, if I have a course, it has lessons, sections, quizzes, all of that stuff. You're looking right now, the average completion rate is 10 to 20%. So if you have 100 people that register for an online course, you're having 10 to 20% that actually finish the course. So even though you have a really great course, at best, 1 in 5 is actually finishing it. The other people are not doing it. The ones that were kind of scary were, there's another one called MOOCs, or massively open online courses. The thing that's happening with those ones, and this is like Udemy and Coursera, it's as low as 5 to 12%, and that's even with the top course authors. So people are taking courses, they buy them, and then it's like, I took a lesson, I found out what I wanted to, no longer interested anymore, I'm not going to complete it. So you got a bit of an issue there. If you're thinking about courses, just make sure that the course that you're offering is something that the people that you're offering it to want to learn about, and more importantly, are willing to put in the time, energy, effort, and maybe money to complete it, or they need to do that before they can go on to the next step. And that's where you get into the whole strategy of micro courses, mini courses, and platform courses or programs. So just, spend some time thinking about that as you're kind of moving forward there. Yeah, Paul, Google, you're funny you mentioned that, because one of the things that comes up is people are, looking at Perplexity and they go, yeah, that's cool. I really like it. What's Google going to do? Google search. They just announced yesterday that the Gemini AI tool is actually now embedded directly in Google search. I don't have it on my screen. I'm in Canada right now. They announced it yesterday at the developers conference. So now what you're going to see is when you actually go and do a search at Google, do that one up. Let's get rid of this one. That's a whole other one, Google Vids. Sorry, well, actually, I'll just do a new tab. On Google now, you're going to see on the right-hand side that's here. On the right-hand side, when you do a Google search, you're actually going to see there's the Gemini AI tool is going to be there. So you're actually going to be able to prompt directly within the search engine, which is going to be different than Perplexity, which is a meta search engine that is going, it searches a whole bunch of places and then basically provides you with some information about what you were asking and not forcing you to search through everything. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens there about no more Google. So just to get back, LMSs are something that's really, really powerful if they're needed. And I don't know if they're needed anymore. So, when you're talking about, looking at Moodle or any of those other ones, Paul, it's like, I'm not sure, if you're not offering certifications and you're not teaching rocket science, I would give my kind of 2 cents, or think about long and hard about actually spending and investing time in an LMS anymore. I still think you should have courses or organized or curated content. And that's why I just use something like this one, which is the Fluent Community, which has basic courses. So, I can go in, put a YouTube video in, add some links to content, put some AI generated text in to clarify it, maybe take the transcript of the video. But this is a way for someone to consume the content that you would put in a course, but it's just a real simple way to do it. And I think, this whole idea of just-in-time learning, I have another video that I'm just doing on that, but I think there's a big move to just-in-time learning from just-in-case learning. And anytime you're putting content into a traditional LMS, you're teaching a whole bunch of stuff that's just in case someone wants to learn it, as opposed to someone going to YouTube and watching a video or watching two videos or going to ChatGPT or any of the AI tools and saying, hey, teach me how to do this. So LMS, see what happens, but just take your time and think it through before you do stuff. Um, okay. Hello, Mark. Welcome to the live stream again. Yeah, so those are kind of the things that I'm thinking about going through this. When you're doing, does this make sense? Let me know if you have questions about Circle and specifically Fluent. I use Fluent Community. There is another one, and I do have some sites that run on it. One's called Buddy Boss. Buddy Boss is one. Let me just make sure I open this one up properly. Buddy Boss is another one that is built specifically on Buddy Press, which is a WordPress platform. And this is one that has a really, really great elegant looking community platform. You have to use their theme to make it look good. And you can plug in LearnDash or Lifter or Tutor LMS directly within it, and it looks really good and works well. That one also has a mobile app that is really, really helpful. But that is another one on WordPress. I do have it running on a couple sites and on client sites. And again, that one's a little more of a complex community, and it allows for things like multiple instructors and multiple groups where people can create their own groups. If you don't need that, that's when I go back and use something along the lines of the Fluent community, but both kind of do the same thing. So you get this opportunity. Am I going to have a community? Yes. So I can use like Fluent Community and or Circle. Am I going to have marketing, or do I need to have marketing and a CRM and email automations? If I use Circle, how am I going to do the marketing? Do I get another piece of software to do the marketing, or do I need another WordPress site to do stuff that I can't do on Circle? A lot of people from there will go, and if you haven't heard of Kajabi or some of the other tools, there's Kajabi or Go High Level is one, and what they have is they're really, really good at the marketing piece, and then they've started to add courses, and then they're starting to add on community. So it's that case where you've got, one is really good at something and they're adding pieces, or one is good at community and they're adding marketing, or you stay right within WordPress and you try and get everything in one particular platform. So if you were creating one and you wanted to create it on WordPress, I think that was kind of one of the questions, right? Okay, Mark's there. Using WordPress and Moodle to give the course creator more control over the environment. Um, yeah, Paul, I haven't used Moodle in a long, long, long time, so I don't know what changes they've actually made to it. I would think because it's their own software, you probably got a lot more control over that aspect of it. I don't believe that Moodle has any of the marketing piece in it. The community piece is not to the same extent as you would find on WordPress. I think they might have added discussion forums like traditional discussion forums, but they don't have the ability to have members interact personally outside of the discussion forums, I think. Things like cohorts. If you've heard of a cohort before, let me know, because that's another kind of piece of the community part. A cohort is basically a course that has a start date and a finish date, and people go through the course together. So think of like a traditional school where you got a class and you got a trimester, and people start together, finish together, and they learn during the particular time and they all do it together. So some of the other platforms as well focus on cohorts. You can do that in groups or having separate groups, which is something that is available here. It has been, Paul. Thank you very much. Yeah. Again, there's all of these ones available. It's like you kind of think, you find a lot of people end up changing. I've used different ones. Anyone that's been selling courses for a while, it's like you have one platform that works. It does everything that you want. Things change, so you try and move everything over to another platform that does something a little bit better. So it tends to be a bit of a moving target. That's one of the big reasons that I try and stay in WordPress, is because I have more control over the data and the courses and the content as things change. But they all work. They all work. And the real question is when you go back, and let me bring this up right now, is please go and take this course here, 10-step campus map. There are 10 things that everyone goes through when they're building a campus or an education business. And the one that is really, really important is this one right here, your campus goals for your education business. If you decide upfront that you want a community, that you want courses, that you're going to focus on the education, there's a whole set of tools and way to set up your business that allows you to do that. If you go and say, I want a community, but you buy all the tools that are for marketing, or courses, it's like there's a mismatch for it. So at the early days, try and do your best to kind of figure out, what lane am I going to pick? Is it the marketing lane? Is it the course lane? Is it the community lane? What is the balance or the score that I'm putting on all those? And then how technical do I want to be? There are some proper choices. The ones I recommend are Fluent Community and or Circle, for the community and basic course one. Those are both good platforms. Circle doesn't have the kind of marketing, project management, and I think bookings. I don't even know if they have at this point. I haven't logged in. I have a Circle site as a free one. I haven't logged in and played around with it recently. So okay, so Matthew's asking about payment gateways, tripwires, upsells, high ticket, low ticket, replacing ClickFunnels. Yeah, absolutely. So let me do this. I'm just going to log into the back end of my site here, and I'll show you a couple things that are available. Again, this is on WordPress, and I'll open up one. Use the same for Campus, Nest Hub, and alternative the element is WhatsApp creates a whole self-hosted infrastructure. Same as you for the campus and perfect. Alternative element, alternative. Okay, cool, cool. I'm not familiar with all of those ones. Actually, put it in the tools and resources in the campus. I'm just going to show you one of the things here. Actually, I'll show you this now. Okay, so here's the in the back end office of the trainingsites.io site. Number of things on the left hand side. Hopefully you can see them. See if I can make them a bit bigger. Yeah, so Fluent CRM, Fluent Community, Fluent Boards, which is the project management tool, Fluent Support, Fluent Booking, Fluent Forms, and I have snippets. So the other ones that I have here, you were asking about tripwires and stuff. Fluent Community and WordPress, I have it working with WooCommerce, and that's the other kind of thing that you have to think about. And I'll just talk about briefly before I show the tripwires in that part. One of the things is when you're building out your campus, you have to kind of decide, am I just going to sell the course? Am I selling the course and coaching? Am I selling digital products? Am I selling physical products? So any of these platforms you pick, you got to kind of decide, how am I going to take payments, and do I need a traditional shopping cart? Am I going to do upsells or downsells? Or am I going to do recurring memberships, or is it one-off purchases? Do I want to have free trials? So you have to have some kind of platform to take payments. If you do something in one of those standalone ones, sometimes you're limited. Like if you're using a particular platform and you want to sell merch, for example, or physical products, they aren't set up to do that. They don't have a way to collect delivery addresses, for example. They don't have a way to do inventory or things like that. Um, they don't necessarily work with additional tools that do things that do upsells and downsells. So that's an important part to consider. I use WooCommerce on this one, and I use two different kind of things to help me out with that. The first one is, and I'll open this up here, is I do have in this is the dashboard here on Fluent CRM that's in here right now. And on this one, on the left-hand side, I can do automated campaigns, recurrent campaigns, sequences, that kind of thing. And I also have automations. So all of these automation funnels are ones that action can be run about offers, upsells, downsells, and they all use tags. So Fluent CRM, if you're not familiar with tagging, what it does is it allows you to identify people and or their actions based on a tag, and these automations and funnels can be used based on the tags that they have or they don't have, and they can guide people through personalized paths through your site or through your business structure. So Fluent CRM has all of these. And the best part is it's attached to Fluent Community, Fluent Bookings, Fluent Boards, and Fluent Support. So you can tag people throughout the entire community as to how many times you guys logged in, for example. If you haven't logged in for a certain number of days, you might start getting messages saying, hey, we missed you. And that's because we've got automations that actually set that up. You'll also notice, I think on this one, there's the tags is there, and I don't know if it shows up at the bottom here. We do have, let me go back to the carts here. We do have abandoned carts here directly as well. I don't use any ones that are right here on the abandoned carts, but they are available directly within Fluent CRM. And the other thing you can do is if you're really into it, I do have on mine, the other one I did add was WP funnels. So WP funnels is another kind of upsell, downsell one. So we've got carts, abandoned carts. We've got upsell, downsell with WP funnels. Again, it's in WordPress. And Fluent CRM has everyone tagged and it's here in one place. So um, hopefully that helps you out, gets it structured for you so you can understand exactly what's happening. So give me a thumbs up if that's what you were looking for. Tripwire's upsells, high ticket, low ticket, replacing ClickFunnels. Yeah, I don't think you need ClickFunnels if you've got this particular setup going. And I want to talk about this because, again, one of the things that I've run into on a regular basis, and this is something I think is happening in the whole space. I've been in the whole digital marketing, online courses stuff for a long, long, long time and sold thousands of course subscribers and tons of courses, thousands of videos that I've done now. And one of the things that was really, really, really important when we first started out was doing ClickFunnels stuff where we had a landing page and the landing page maybe had a low ticket offer. And then you got someone into this big funnel and you're trying to narrow them down to some expensive course or expensive program or expensive coaching. Uh, and my personal feeling on this and what I'm seeing from the other people that started when I started is you're seeing a large movement now to not using a traditional funnel, but more importantly, to get people into your own community. And I think that's where the real business opportunity is now. With all of the ability to people create their own courses when they need it, just using ChatGPT or any of these tools, it's my focus has been on how do I get people inside the community. And the reason that I want to bring you guys in is because I have your email address. My community is basically my opt-in. I don't do any ads. I don't do social media where I generate anything. I don't do anything in regards to, lead funnel stuff like that. All I do is YouTube videos and I ask people to join the community. Once you're in the community, yeah, you get emails, there's offers. I give away my content. I give away all of my content. What I don't give away is myself. So if you want to work directly with me and or you want to work in the live implementation sessions that we do every week where we actually apply all of the free content that's in the community, you got to pay for that. And that's the campus pass program that's available. And I'll do my 2 second of just show you where that is. So hopefully, I'd love to have you as a Campus Pass member, a VIP, and you'd be able to, be able to join me on that one. But this one is just about, hey, we do live sessions, we work on projects, we implement the stuff, we answer questions. It's not about teaching anything. It's about, hey, what's happening? Is it working? Is it not working? What are some of the options that are available? So that one right now is $249 a quarter if you wanted to join that one. Free is the opt-in, that's a community, and then I also have some additional mentoring programs and things that are there. So I'd love for you to join up for that, be able to work with us on a regular basis. And I also have my agency side, which is the done for you. But the entry, the part that replaces the ClickFunnels and the opt-ins is just get people into the community. And I think that's what's happening now. It's just a less aggressive way to do it. And it's an easier way to build a relationship with people as opposed to trying to sell some $7 offer or free checklist, which people can go to ChatGPT and say, give me a checklist. So there's not necessarily anything that's new in terms of content that you can get people to say, yeah, I'm willing to pay with my email address for. So that's kind of where my head's at. And I have a number of videos about that, and I kind of look at it. It's like the do-it-yourself crowd, the DIY crowd. That's information only. That's, yeah, I got it in my community. It's free. Yeah, I'll teach you how to use ChatGPT to do it by yourself. So that's the DIY people. And everyone is a DIY person. You can go to YouTube. There's a billion videos there and get DIY stuff if you want. Um, and that's going to get worse. It's easier and easier to do it. There's more and more people using ChatGPT now. I think I saw that in the last 3 months, there's a couple 100 million people that started using ChatGPT. So in another 3 months or another 6 months, everyone and their uncle is going to be creating their own content. So just kind of think about that. DIY, free content, I'm giving it away. I don't think there's any value in content on its own. However, with all that content comes application. And what that is, that's the done with you space. And that's basically where I am in here. I'm saying, hey, there's lots of information. There's too much information. If you want to build a campus, let me help you. If you want to build your first course, let me help you. If you want to fix your business model, let me help you. It's one thing to go to ChatGPT and say, give me the 10 marketing steps, and it'll say, do social media, create some courses, do this, but they don't help you implement it. So in my community, you pay for that help based on my experience and all of the stuff that I've done over the last 25 years. And if you're passionate about something and you've got some experience about it, hey, this is the way I do things. You got a community, let people get involved on that. So you got DIY, done with you, implementation, actually applying stuff. And then after that, you've got the done for you for the people who just don't have time. And that's generally the agency. So we have a whole agency plan where we basically build and manage campuses for people. We have another one where we build and manage and market people for people. And we have another part of the agency that says, hey, we build, manage, market, and we create content for you. So it's like DIY, done with you, done for you. And that is online business these days. You're going to pick your lane. Which one do you want to get involved in? Which is the one important to you? Which one are you able to do? And when you're setting up your business, it's like, which one do you want to get involved in? How much time, energy, and effort you want to do on the agency side when all you do or like doing is putting videos together. So hopefully that helped a bit. If there's more questions there, let me know. Again, I'm by myself here when I do these things. So sometimes I get a little bit lost, and we'll see what's happening here if there's any more. There we go. What else you guys want to talk about? How long am I going for this? I get going on these. We got 15 people. Wonderful. 43 minutes we've been going to. Um, I'm just trying to think about one of the other. I am going to talk about one thing, and again, just say don't do it if you don't want to cover it. But I want to talk about YouTube and why I think YouTube is so important. If who here, give me a thumbs up if you've actually started a YouTube channel and you've been posting to YouTube. Let me know how many people have actually been doing it. And I think this is really important when you're building out your campus. And especially like I've been around the times that I've been around, I was always taught that it was about search engine optimization and doing blog posts. I don't do any search engine optimization. I don't do any blog posts. All I do are YouTube videos, and I do as many as I can, as often as I can, as unedited as I can. And the reason I do that is traffic. That's the only reason that I do that. And there's some really neat things about YouTube that I don't think people like. If you were just getting started, you're building an education business, you're building a community campus, my first recommendation to you is start doing YouTube videos as quickly as you can, as often as you can, and don't get hung up on the editing. Just get comfortable. No one's going to watch at the start. Very few people are. You're going to figure out how to do it. If it's really ugly and really bad, do it and then just hide it or unpublish it, but get in front of the camera talking about what it is you like, know, love, and do, or talking to someone else about what you or both of you like, know, love, and do. And there's two things that it does for you. The first one is that it allows you to find the messaging and the topic and the segments of the topic that are of interest to real people who are already on YouTube. So you may have a great idea about something, but if no one is searching on YouTube for it, no one is watching videos for it, or if they are and you're not messaging it correctly, you won't know if you don't have a whole bunch of videos on YouTube. So that is the best place right now to verify that anything that you create in terms of educational content in your community is actually going to be of worthwhile. That's the first thing. Second thing is that when I was initially done, it was like people said, and they still say, make a YouTube video every week. And that was like a big stretch. Um, I make and try and make one a day. Sometimes I make more than one a day. And the reason it is because I want my audience on YouTube tuned into my channel, and I want to do a show every day if I can. I don't want to do a show once a month that may be 7 or 8 minutes long, because in terms of getting in front of an audience, if you're only doing one video, you got to hope to God that someone sees that one video in the month. And in the time between you publishing a video and the next one, there may have been another billion videos added to YouTube. But if you stay consistent and tell people and just do content about your content on YouTube, you're going to end up with one or two of them that end up hitting. And when they do, all sorts of wonderful stuff happens. And I know this for a fact because I did it. This is how I actually got started. If I go take a look, example, I'll just pull up my YouTube one just so you can actually see what happens here. Um, I did this totally wrong, I think, when I actually got started on it. But if I go back and I take a look at all of the videos and I take a look at the ones that kind of happen, I have some that have 22 videos, 38 videos, and then there's a couple that have 170,000 people, 60,000 people, 43,000 people. And you get these one-off hits. And what happens when the one-off hits come is you get people to join, or you ask people to join your community in the videos, and then you start building out the community where you can market to them. So the more videos that you have about a particular topic, you know that if I talk about this market and this topic in this category, and I talk about it like that, people raise their hand and they say, yeah, I'm interested in learning more. And you give them the opportunity every time that I open up a video. Like this week, I had two that did pretty well. What was the one? I got 63,000 views on this one. I have on this one 63,000 views on this one. And that's just in the last, this was 2 weeks ago. So, this 12 days ago was this one, 12,000 on this one. So you just need a couple to get in. And then what happens from that is you offer, and I look at any of these ones, I'll open it up and stop it. And this is the one trick that I learned. The very first thing that you have at the top of it is, please join the community. Please join the community. And that's the entire focus of YouTube stuff. Now, if you've ever seen the Moneyball movie, has anyone seen Moneyball? The one with Brad Pitt. And the whole thing about the only thing you want to do is get on base, and you don't score runs if you're not on base. Think of it as YouTube. You just want to get on base. Focus on YouTube when you're getting started, and start getting comfortable with the fact that you may sound weird. You may not have any hair. You may not have perfect skin. You may move in a weird way, but just get on YouTube, get over yourself, and start making some videos if you're in the education business. If you're in the education business, if you're doing something that's a little bit different, that's something that doesn't fit well on YouTube, don't be afraid to talk to other people about what you're doing on it. Doesn't have to be you only. Like, get on and start talking to people who are using your existing product or service or your story. Talk about people who are related to it, but just get on YouTube. Just get on. So give me a thumbs up. Who's on YouTube? Let me know who's on YouTube. Come on, guys. Everyone should be on YouTube. Not even anyone saying they're on YouTube? What am I going to do to get you guys all on? This is I'm these are ones I'm going to one more trick with YouTube. I started doing live YouTube videos, and I always do live YouTube videos. And if you have StreamYard or if you have Ecamm, you can always do live YouTube videos. So this is what I recommend. If you're going to market your community, market your education business, start doing live YouTube videos. And here's the one reason why. When you do a live YouTube video, you can make it unpublished. And what that means to you and me is you do the video, but no one sees it. So just start doing the videos. I have some customers that maybe do 7 or 8 videos in a day. And they do that a couple times and they go, oh my God, I did that really well. Or I didn't explain that, or I stuttered here. Or I got to make sure that I look into the camera more or speak closer to the microphone or the lighting is off. But just do a whole bunch of them. Spend a weekend in front of YouTube doing a whole bunch, but do them live and unpublished. And the reason you want to do that is because you can look immediately to see where you screwed up and didn't screw up, and you can practice stuff and you get to see yourself actually on the platform. And you know, delete them. Just get rid of them, delete them. It has nothing to do with getting an editor or fancy audio, any of that stuff. Don't get hung up on about it. You're not Mr. Beast. You're in the education business. It's you being authentic, telling the stuff, making mistakes that you actually make. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. So make as many videos as you can. And then here's the other thing I just want you to pay attention to. If you haven't done this already, please go, and let me make this a little bit smaller here. Please go on the left-hand side of the Training Sites course. You're going to see there is a course. Let me just go and pull it up. Just go and type in YouTube on the search here. And here's my favorite secret. Right here in the middle, it says turn YouTube videos into courses. Please go take this video. If you create YouTube videos and you have a couple YouTube videos that are related, all you have to do is use them and turn them into a course. And this is exactly what I did here. And I have lots of customers that are doing this as well. So just take your videos and actually put it in. You now have 3 videos maybe that you put together on YouTube. All you do is you add them in as a lesson. You use ChatGPT to add the text, add the graphics, do those things. You can create as many courses as you want just by recording YouTube videos that maybe are unpublished or unhidden. So that's another kind of good trick to kind of play around with. Yeah, just make YouTube videos, guys. Make them. Make them. Have some fun. Don't show them to anyone. If you're uncomfortable, don't show them to anyone. Just hide them. And if you get 1 or 2 that hit, you're going to get a whole bunch of people. Even if they are subscribers, that's fine. The thing that I want to know is how many people have joined my community as a result of the YouTube video. And the other thing that's kind of interesting here is that if I go take a look at my YouTube stats, let me just pull up here one on my YouTube stats, just on my channel. Let me just do analytics on this one here. So here's one, just an example. Again, this is my live stats on this. For this one, if I said to you, in the last 28 days, go write a whole bunch of blog posts, spend time doing SEO, and you said, yeah, I got 160,000 views in the last 28 days from my blog post, would you get that? How much time, energy, and effort would you have to put in to use ChatGPT to create generic blog posts that have none of you in it, no authenticity? How many would you be able to do that? You know, $1,000 over 28 for ad revenue. 12,000 hours of watch time where people are watching you. They're watching you. They're watching you just be yourself and talk about what you're excited and passionate about. 5,000 new subscribers. And of that, you know, I've got a couple thousand members in the community now. So just like create this stuff again as fast as you can. So any other questions here? I've been talking for 55 minutes again. This is cool stuff. It's exciting. We're in a great position. Don't be afraid of the AI stuff. Start leveraging it. Start thinking about how can I use it to create content on the fly and give it to people curated the one that I want. This is just really, really exciting time. And I'll leave you with this one. and this is kind of the secret that I want to call it a secret, but it's not. And it's just, I'm telling you what I'm focusing on. And if it fits for you, it fits for you. And if it doesn't, you think I'm on the wrong track, that's cool too. I really think right now that there is going to be a huge move to just in time training. And what I'm talking about by that is that we're going to have creating content on YouTube, creating all of this content that is generated by tools like ChatGPT and Claude. It's going to be multimodal. So it's not going to be generating text for a video script or text for a lesson plan or a syllabus. We're going to be able to create text by interacting verbally and by showing videos or cameras of us doing stuff. That's going to happen in 2025. And we're going to be able to just be ourselves, creating the content, and the traditional course or way people learn things are going to be automatically generated by AI based on our content that we've created. So that's where I think things are going. People are going to have personalized lessons or answers to the questions that they have. It's not about you creating a course, it's about letting people access your content and answering the questions that they have based on your experience. So create content as fast as you can of yourself. And if you can, try and make it multimodal. Try and make it audio. Try and make it video, because when you make it an audio video, the transcriptions are automatically there. It's not about the text. It's about how do I get the sound there? How do I express myself vocally and visually? Those are the things that are going to have the real, the real great input. So I hope you like this stuff. I come on every week at 1 o'clock, and you always wonder, do I have some notes to go through this? No, I don't have notes. I just end up talking about stuff that I'm excited about. And I'm excited about teaching online and AI stuff and building campuses. I don't know. What are you excited about? Are you teaching a sport? Are you teaching an instrument? Are you teaching someone business related? Are you teaching something that is a hobby of yours? Doesn't really matter, but I'm pretty sure that you can talk as long as you possibly wanted to about these topics that you're excited about. So just think about getting started, creating your video content, YouTube, building a community and allowing people to come into it, and then monetizing it by sharing your time or your expertise. And that's where I think the real cool value is. So if you haven't already, I would love for you to join trainingsites.io/pass to join the campus, and go and become one of the members there that gets some extra help from me. And again, I'll show you the page on that one. If you haven't already, please come and join. It's trainingsites.io/pass. And I have the one package here that's available right now for you. It's the Campus Builders. It's $249 a month, and I do it quarterly. And what that means to you is that every week we do a live session on Zoom. It's not Ustream. It's actually or YouTube. Pardon me. It's actually on Zoom, and we get to actually interact with each other. We also look at using particular tools and AI tools, and then we also have a private community group that you can ask your own personal questions in. And the one thing I will tell you that is special about this is that I do video answers for people. So if you are using a tool or you are running into something and you need some help on it, you can just say, hey, James, could you do a video on this? And I'll either direct you to one that I have, or if you want to, give me access to your platform and actually show you how to do something on it. We'll do private video answers as well. So hope you've enjoyed that. Any last questions before I wrap it up? How long are we going here? 59 minutes. I'm here every week, and hope you enjoyed this. Give me a thumbs up. If there's anything you liked or didn't like, let me know so I can know for next time. And pay attention, because just after this, I'm going to put up the brand new video just sharing all of the stuff that happened at the Google Developers Conference yesterday. So I think that's it. There we go. Do I have YouTube income? Yes, I do, Michael. Is it huge? No, it's not. It's not huge. I think so far, I think the most I earned was, I think, $2,500 for the month from directly from YouTube. So, some months it's a little bit more, some it's a little bit less. I don't look at, I'm not a full-time YouTuber at this point. The way that I earn my revenue is from the agency side, and the majority of it is in the mentoring and also in the campus builder one. So that's kind of where my focus on. We make really. That's the other thing I just want to. I am going to talk about this because it is kind of important. A lot of people say, if I go into YouTube right now, there are a lot of other people making YouTube videos that say all you need to do is make a course. You're going to be able to sell this course and you're going to earn a whole bunch of money. That has not been my experience. And I think it's getting, even the people that did, it's getting a lot harder to do a course. And the people that I have seen do well with courses today are people who do one of two things. One is they're already have a large community that they're selling the course to, or they already have an existing business, product, or service that they're bringing into a course. But to start off cold with your first course and think that you're going to be able to sell a course because you bought ads on Facebook, to get into some lead magnet, to get into a course from a person that they don't know, don't hold your breath. And again, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, when everyone is using ChatGPT, I don't see any reason to purchase a course from someone that I don't know already. I'll just go run a prompt, use a prompt. So where's the thumbs up? I don't know, Michael. I just know that I'm supposed to get that somewhere. So yeah, so courses, you see a lot of stuff. I say courses are dead. Education's not dead, but a structured, just in case you need to know all of these things, old course, I think we're all in trouble if that is your focus. That is one revenue stream of all sorts of revenue streams. So that's the part I'm just trying to say is don't just focus on courses, focus on treating it as a business, an education business. So there we go. I'll end at that. We'll wrap that one up. Again, thanks everyone for being on. Really enjoyed this. Come and join the campus, ask questions, learn stuff. Let me know what's going on. I'll do my best to answer, to at least get you directed in the right place. And if you want to, go to that trainingsites.io/pass to join as a VIP member. So take care. Expect the best. We'll be back next week.